All right, folks, here we are. We're doing a garden update. It's been a minute. We'll go ahead and talk a little bit about the mushroom hut. We just had a really big flush of oyster mushrooms. I believe on my last video, I spoke about how I hadn't gotten any, and then like 3 days later, this whole bin was full. Added more wood chips to my Azzy bin because they seem to be consuming things really fast and have kind of taken up every bit of space inside that container with a mycelium cake. So I added a little more wood chips on the top, gave them a little water, so they'll start feeding into those newer wood chips and keep the party going. All right, let's take a look at the garden. Here's Luca. What's up, Luca? What up, buddy? What's up? We've got the sunflowers popping off over here. This big giant one is, I don't know, it's probably about 14 feet tall. Just beautiful, though. The pollinator garden has completely consumed all of the cabbage, which you could see here in a bit. But this whole thing right here, this squash plant that goes all the way out to here, starting to wrap around, is all one plant. And it's doing great. I've been pollinating squash already. So I'm already starting to get some fruits off of this. These sunflowers, I've already topped most of them and have been bringing flowers into the house. Chili peppers doing all right. This is the only one that's actually doing okay. All the other chili peppers got stunted so terribly. Here's the rose garden section. I've been harvesting roses constantly. They look really good. RSO Garden's doing really good. I got to get in here with a scrog net. As you can see, all of these direct sow plants are just towering over the stuff that was brought in as a clone. All the direct sow, I would say, is a good foot or more above all the rest of them. They're all looking healthy and happy. I got to get in here and take backups of all these. I'm going to isolate a cloner in my bathroom so that I can quarantine some cuts, treat them, and then get them backed up. Over here we have our beets, which are beaten up. They're finally starting to kind of form up some bigger beets. That squash plant is actually pushing through now. Has made it to the other side, and I was able to impregnate that flower there. You have to pollinate them. Well, you could hope that the bees will do it, but if not, you can manually pollinate them yourself. I've got quite a few different expressions on the sunflowers this year, and this one, see, this is kind of that traditional look, but this one is very unique. It has like these satin paper petals, and it comes off like little ribbons. It's really beautiful. I've been digging the flowers lately, doing flower arrangements and shit like that for my wife. These are the potato plants that Luca planted for me earlier in the season. They're doing really well, starting to flower a bit. So when they die off, I'll dig them up and harvest those potatoes. Here is the pollinator garden. It's just mostly full with poppies now. Besides the little bits of cabbage that managed to push through. I do have a squash plant on the edge of that fence line that I've been feeding through, which we'll see in a bit. Here's my carrot bin. I come in here and I pull out all the ones that I need to thin out. So I'm constantly pulling out little carrots and eating them. They're delicious. I way overplanted this bin. It's just way too full. But I'm going through and picking out all the little carrots and eating them. We got all our spring onions are looking really good. They're about ready to come out of there any day. Got my carnations in the front. These carnations here were planted from seed, direct sow, and they're doing really good. Over here we got our strawberries. They're still working on stuff. We've got our herb garden. These Thai basil plants, I didn't talk about the other Thai basil over there. They're doing really good, and they smell and taste amazing. I'm already harvesting a lot of herbs to dry so that I can make infused oil. Then we got the rest of the other herb garden here. Some more oregano, that's doing good. I took a bunch of cuts off the raspberry bush, and I've got them in here hoping to root them and replant them. My cat keeps coming in and laying on my carnations here, so I'm not sure how that struggle is going to go. Can't keep him out of it. When I harvested all my potatoes at the end of the month, I went and planted a bunch of bush beans. So I planted bush beans all over the place. This bin right here is going to be bush beans. And then over here's our pumpkin plant. It seems to be doing really well, actually. Even though I fell on it and broke, literally half of the entire plant got broke off. But as you can see down in here, I'm working on some kind of pumpkin. Funky looking pumpkin. But it came from a Casper white pumpkin, a big giant white pumpkin. So I'm hoping that's what it ends up being. Let's go ahead and look over here. All the blackberries are doing really good. Berries are starting to form. I'm going to have a ton of blackberries out of this whole little section here. Be making a bunch of jellies and jams. Here are my Brandywine tomatoes, looking really good. This thing is massive. These two actually are massive. Hoping to get some fruit soon. Everything's kind of getting ready to rock. I got my mullein that bounced back from Luca destroying it. It actually ended up popping off with 2 crowns. So I'll be stripping some of those mullein leaves, some more of the sunflowers, a little cabbage. But this is that squash that got stuck in here. Was a volunteer from last year. So what I'm doing is I just keep coming along and just kind of weave it through the fence. I'm going to weave it all around and hopefully it'll start dropping some pumpkins. I'm getting male flowers off of it now, but I haven't seen any female flowers off this squash pumpkin or off this one yet. Bamboo is still fully seeded. The seeds are still pretty green. So we're waiting for all of them to kind of dry up and do their thing so we can harvest all of them. Over here we have our other carrot bins doing really good. This is also bush beans that I popped off in here. Strawberries are doing good. Starting to get strawberries. Cucumber, this cucumber here is doing good. I've been training it along this fence line as well. I'm just gonna have it wrap around this fence, but I've already got some cucumbers going. This Thai basil in here didn't do well this season. It just pretty much went straight to flower. It's not really bushing up, but I come along and I pinch off all these flowers trying to get it to kind of veg out some more. But I think these, what ended up being tomatillo plants, are taking a lot of its nutrition and a lot of its glory. But as you can see, I got tomatillos, and I did not plant tomatillos. I didn't buy tomatillo seeds, and I didn't buy tomatillo starts. These are just random volunteers, either from the soil I used, or that's the only thing I could really come up with. I'm not sure how those tomatillos got there, but I'll take it. Here in this pollinator garden, we've got another sunflower, our little bird bath, and some various things coming up. This squash plant, man, if I wouldn't have fell on it, would have been just massive. Here's another one that's come up. This was a volunteer that kind of grew up from the cracks of this rock. I've been feeding it and it's taken off. Kind of weaving it through the fence as well. This is where I had all those potatoes. I did potato baskets. They worked out pretty good. I dumped the baskets out, planted in a bunch of bush beans. So now I'll get a second harvest out of that soil that I had in there. Lemon tree's doing good. I think I'm gonna get some lemons out of the deal. I'm not sure, man. But its posture's really good. It seems happy. So hopefully I get some lemons. That would be cool. Raspberry bush is doing really good. I get handfuls of raspberries just about every day. As you can see, it's pretty loaded. Some of these, look at that. Just giant, delicious, beautiful raspberries. You know I'm eating this one right now. Delicious. Raspberry bush is doing really good. I cut a bunch of the shoots that were coming off of it because basically all of the fruiting kind of happens on these lateral branches. So if I cut the shoots, it'll kind of bush it out and make it produce a bunch more berries, which, man, they're delicious, I gotta tell you. As you can see, this section of the garden's doing really good, almost too good. Tomatoes are a mess. I watered them this morning and they just flopped everywhere. So I gotta get in here and I gotta clean these up and get these situated, or it's just gonna be a giant jumbled mess. Green beans are doing really good. They're starting to fill in the whole scrog and climb the wall. I'm hoping to get some beans. Got my turnip rows doing really good. And look at that giant pumpkin in the back. It's taken off and it's going to be massive. The main shoot off of it hasn't even touched the ground yet, but it is a massive, massive pumpkin plant. But yeah, so this tomato fiasco's got to get taken care of because it's already fruiting. I mean, I've already got tomatoes. I don't know if you can see that in there, but I've already got tomatoes coming, and I gotta make sure that this shit's handled. So I'm gonna get in here with some posts and then mount up another scrog and try to train these up through another trellis to try to support them, because this is a disaster. I mean, a disaster. But live and learn. Potato basket's doing good. These ones are still kicking it. Probably gonna harvest them pretty soon. And I believe that's it, my friends. I had a good time with this this garden this year. It's been so much fun trying to get everything figured out. Definitely need to re-strategize my tomato section. Holy shit, there's shit everywhere. But that's what we do. All right, folks. Hope you all have a good one. Growers love.